Good afternoon. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon for our exhibitor webinar, Ensuring a Successful Event for Your Company, Simple and Effective Procedures that Boost ROI. I'd like to start today by introducing you to our panelists this afternoon. My name is Nancy Franco, and I'm the Vice President of Operations at AE Ventures, the event management company for the Electronic Security Expo. I'm joined today by a few other folks. Chris Valentine is with T3 Expo and is the general contractor for ESX. I'm also joined by Jessica DaCosta, our sales manager for ESX, and also Steve McWilliams with Capture Technologies, who is the lead retrieval provider for the event. Now, before we get started, I'd like to remind you all to submit your questions. We'll be going through a number of different areas for planning and logistics for the event. And you can add your questions to the chat window at any time during the webinar, and we'll be covering those questions at the end of the presentation. Today we'll start just with an overview of the event schedule. For those of you who have participated in ESX in the past, it will be very familiar. We've got a number of exciting networking events, conference program, expo, etc., and I'll just run through the schedule, which begins on Monday, June 17th, with our association meetings from CSAA and ESA starting at 8 a.m. and running until the end of the day at 4:30. And also for those of you who have participated at those meetings in the past, one important item to note is that those meetings will be held at the convention center this year, as opposed to the hotel where they have been held in years past. Monday's events will conclude with ESA's professional group's reception from 7 to 9 p.m. On Tuesday, exhibitor move-in begins at 8 a.m. and ends at 6 p.m. We have our eye-opener breakfast from 9 to 10:30, and the ESX Icebreaker Luncheon, which will feature Sandy Hook Chief of Police Mike Kehoe from 12 to 1:30. And our conference program begins on Tuesday and runs from 1:45 until 6 p.m. And then immediately following that, starting at 7 p.m., will be ESA's Weinstock and Jackson Celebration, which this year will be held at the Country Music Hall of Fame. On Wednesday, exhibitor move-in hours are from 8 a.m. until 11 a.m. Concurrently with that is CSAA's Excellence Awards Breakfast. And then our conference program will run from 8 until 11:45, and those hours are inclusive of the exhibitor-offered training courses for those of you who might be participating in those. Our keynote presentation, which will feature marketing guru Roy Spence, will take place from 11:45 a.m. until 1 p.m., and the dedicated exhibit hours start from 1 p.m. until 6:30, and that time is inclusive of our ESX happy hour, which will run from 5 until 6:30 p.m. And then we'll head down to Lower Broadway for our club crawl, and look out for an announcement in the coming weeks in regards to the locations for this year's crawl, as well as our brand new Best Dressed contest, which we're really excited to get kicked off for this year. Thursday, we'll start the day with ESX's Rise and Shine Breakfast. The expo hours on Thursday are from 9 until 12:30, and then immediately at the conclusion of the expo will be ESA's Industry Luncheon and Annual Meeting, which will feature CEA President Gary Shapiro. Exhibitor down begins at 12:30 and runs until 8 p.m. And finally, on Friday, ESA will hold their Board of Directors meeting, and again, this will also be held at the Convention Center. All of the special events that I've mentioned in terms of the breakfast and lunches will also be at the Convention Center this year. And important to note is that we are at the new Music City Center. So for those of you who participated last year, we'll no longer be holding the event at the Nashville Convention Center, but rather at Nashville's new Music City Center. So we're very excited to be one of the first tenants in the new building, which is opening up very shortly here. Also wanted to call to your attention a new shipping address. Some of the preliminary information that we had received from the center included a different shipping address, and we have sent out some notifications to our exhibitors and also have modified the information in the online manual, but just wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of this shipping address. If you are planning to ship direct to show site, this is the address here. And again, this is only for direct to show site shipments and not for warehouse shipments. That address remains the same. In regards to hotel and travel, some of you may have already found out that the Hilton Hotel, which is close by to the New Music City Center, has sold out. And the Sheraton Nashville is actually the headquarter hotel, and it is selling quickly. So I definitely would encourage anyone looking to stay at the headquarter hotel to make those reservations just as quickly as possible. We are also offering travel discounts via American Airlines. You can save about 5% on airfares by going online and using this promotional code that you see on your screen. And we've also arranged for group transportation discounts via Gray Line Airport Express for that ground transportation from the airport to the hotel. And all of the information can be found on our website at esxweb.com. Next, I wanted to touch on registration for the event. We definitely would like to encourage all of the exhibiting companies and sponsoring companies to take advantage of all of the networking opportunities that are available at the show. So, sending staff to attend the expo and limiting them to just attending the expo can sometimes, not produce the best ROI while they're at the event. We definitely recommend that they take advantage of the breakfast and lunches that do not conflict with those show floor hours. We've also put together some nice packages for our exhibitors to take advantage of. The packages range in price from $150 to $250, and we put together a handful of different options for you. If you register by May 17th, you can take advantage of those special prices. Registration can be done online, and you can also receive the assistance of our operations coordinator, Amelia Walsh-Kern. If you need assistance in registering large groups of folks, she's able to upload Excel spreadsheets to make that easier for you. So that concludes my portion of the presentation. I would now like to turn it over to Chris Valentine with T3 Expo to talk a bit more about event logistics. Chris?
Thank you, Nancy. I would like to go over a few key items which are inherent to making your event as successful as possible from a logistics perspective. The first key component is to familiarize yourself with the exhibitor manual. This URL on the page right now is the online link for it. You can do online ordering from it, or you can download paper copies of the manual and submit them via fax. The layout of the manual goes by vendor. T3's first, followed by Music City Center forms, which relate to some of their services. Three Rivers Audiovisual, 2 shipping options in case you don't have a shipper, as well as court furnishings. Included under the T3 component is show timing, which Nancy just went over a little bit, but more specific to the movement of your show. Shipping information, the shipping address, the direct shipping address that Nancy just showed you, as well as the advanced warehouse shipping address. Carpet and furnishings options, if you need graphics and or booth labor, and cleaning forms to vacuum your booth. Music City forms follow that and that information if you need electrical service to your booth, internet service, or probably not in the case of this event, but they also have air, water, and gas provided. Three Rivers Audio and Visual is after that if you need computers, monitors, computer monitors, or sound equipment. You could get them from Three Rivers, followed by the shipping options, which are YRC and EAX in the event that you don't have a predetermined shipper. And lastly, court furnishings. Some of the keys to successful exhibiting are being aware of your discount deadlines. If you don't meet your discount deadlines, it does not mean that you will not be able to utilize a service or get a product, but you will certainly more than likely have to pay a higher price. The other thing when it comes to certain products, especially if it's a more specialized product from Three Rivers, definitely take advantage of the advanced discount options and contact them early because the supplies are not endless. Some of the discounts for the advanced warehouse shipping in starts on May 20th. If you ship in before May 20th or after June 11th, we will accept your freight, but you will be charged a surcharge. Furnishings and carpets, June 4th. Electrical and internet from the Music City Center are 14 days prior to the show. Audiovisual from Three Rivers, they have a pre-show and show site deadline, and court furnishings are 14 days prior to the event. Some of the booth essentials. As an exhibitor, you're more than likely, or you definitely will be using some of these services, and you more than likely will be using all these services. The first item is the inbound shipments, and they break down into advance and warehouse shipments. One of the questions that comes up often is, what's the advantage over shipping to the advanced warehouse versus shipping directly to show site? The biggest advantage is on your first day of moving at 8 a.m. on the 18th of June, if you ship to the advanced warehouse, your shipment will be in the booth. And we could also confirm it prior to, so if you ship in 2 weeks prior, and you call us and say, could you let me know if you received your shipment, you know it's there. If it goes in direct, there is a marshaling yard. Your shipper may have to wait in a marshaling yard if there's a backup to get into the docks, and as well as FedEx, which if it's something you need first thing, they can be delayed. The other essentials are the electrical. If you need electrical, and most people do, if they're running a computer for 8 hours, electrical is not included in a booth package. You should get it from Music City's electrical service. Be aware of your requirements. If you have a question about requirements, there's a number on Music City Center's form. You should call them to go over what your requirements are. Not everybody knows, because it goes by amperage, 5 amp, 10 amp, what exactly they need, but they can certainly answer your questions. If you have an island or peninsula booth, you will also be required by Music City Center to provide a layout of your booth and where you need electrical. And once again, they could walk you through that and where your drop should be. Carpeting and flooring is required. You can bring in your own, but you will incur some material handling charges, but it is required. It is not part of a booth package in the show. And lastly, furnishings are a la carte. Once again, you can bring in your own, but they are not included in a booth package. Some booth options, things that you may need, are cleaning, vacuuming, and a porter service, which means it empties out waste baskets during the day. If you order a carpet from T3, it will be clean upon your arrival, but on subsequent days, you may want to order vacuuming. For audiovisual, like I said before, they only have pre-show and at show site pricing, but if you have a specific requirement, this goes for specific types of monitors or specific types of computers, you should contact them early because the supply is not endless once we get to show site. Internet is not free at the Music City Center. There is an internet, there's paid for internet on the floor. If you need a specific hard line, you should contact them early to make sure you have that set up, so when you get to show site on the 18th, you're ready to go, and you can set up your booth and make sure you have your demos ready to go. On the move out, some key components to understand is the material handling form. This tells T3 what your intention is. FedEx, UPS, or any other shipper do not go on the floor and recover your shipments. You have to let us know what your intention is, and then when they show up, we bring the shipment to them. We confirm the counts that you put on the material handling form, and they confirm that they've received those counts. If you don't do this, and this happened a fair amount, people just fit out, last year, people fit out a FedEx form and just leave in their booth. At best, your goods could arrive late because the intention, if you wanted something done overnight and it doesn't go out to the next morning. At worst, they could be easily lost because we don't know they're out there and the cleaners start coming through, and if it's not a big package. Also, tell your carrier that you have an outbound shipment, even if it's someone like FedEx, and you probably dozens of people might have FedEx online, but just make sure they're notified what time they need to pick up, and that you do have a pickup. And lastly on this, for the move out, finalize your billings with various vendors. Don't wait until after you leave show site to confirm what you've been charged. It's the best time to settle it. If you have any questions, it's face to face. It could take a while, and certain vendors, if you have any questions, to circle back around. Um, some mistakes that happen at show site, like I said before, or while you're exhibiting, I shouldn't say at show site, is not taking advantage of advanced discounts, shipping in items early or late. We do not accept items at the Music City Center until 6/18 um, because we won't be there. So perhaps if you're sending a FedEx in on the prior Thursday and overnight and it gets there on Friday, we do not take possession of the building until Sunday. So we will not be there to accept it. And it's an error that happens a lot, and it often results in lost packages. So please take advantage, or not take advantage, take note of when things can be accepted. We will accept things on 6/18 at show site, and when we will accept things at the advanced warehouse. Have all your tracking or bill of lading information on hand when you get to show site in case something is misplaced or something isn't delivered on time. This allows us to be able to look it up and assist you in getting that package where it needs to go. And then, like I went over in a prior page, a popular mistake is not understanding what's required in your booth and what's included in your booth package. Please be aware of that. That often causes long lines, especially since there's a lot of 10 by 10 exhibitors at this show, and it just eats into your day when you need to be doing other things to get ready for the event. These are some key contacts from T3 Expo. There's also a contact for people for a Kiko at the bottom of every form in our T3 form. And give us a call, any of us a call. These are all our cell phones, so they'll also be ready and working when we're at show site. But even if you have a question about the other vendors, we can certainly guide you or put you in the right direction. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Chris. That was very valuable information. And just to reiterate and kind of touch on some of the items that you had mentioned, I think that most people who have exhibited at trade shows before understand the pains that sometimes can occur with shipping mistakes. So just wanted to reiterate, making sure that you really pay close attention to your shipments, knowing when they can arrive, depending upon if you're sending to the warehouse or to the direct-to-show site, knowing who your shipper is, tracking the shipments, and making sure you have a good handle on when they're scheduled to arrive, becoming aware of any delays that may have occurred. Making sure you get that tracking information is very important. And I just would like to also recommend to our exhibitors, from my perspective, shipping to the warehouse is always an easier route to go. Having your freight there for you, ready to get set up when you arrive during move-in, is always an easier option than having to wait for your shipper to check in and perhaps wait in line there right on show site. So just wanted to throw that out for consideration. Definitely an easier option to go from my perspective. Next, I would like to turn it over to Steve McWilliams from Capture Technology, who will talk a little bit about their services at the event. Steve.
Thank you, Nancy. Hope everybody's having a good afternoon. And what I want to do, I'll start with essentially what we refer to as a paradigm shift when in our industry, when we think about one thing as being the way to do something and we find out later that it actually isn't. And I'm going to give you a dramatic illustration of how you can actually have completely wrong information. Go to the next slide. What you're looking at is an actual picture of George Herbert Walker Bush, former president, being pulled out of the water in World War II. He's in the water for 4 hours, and the Navy survival manual told pilots if a shark approached to slap the water, thrash around, yell and scream. Well, anybody who's a scuba diver, done any snorkeling, or watched Shark Week, they know that that's absolutely the wrong thing to do, okay? But the point is, at the time, it was best practice advice. Okay, so in our industry, best practice, what will we discover might be absolutely wrong? Well, in the past, success in a booth was pretty much always defined by the number of attendees that were actually scanned in a booth. And this is where we have to make sure that marketing and sales is aligned, because it can cause a lot of problems. Okay, coming out of the consultants in the industry now, what they're pointing out is, okay, that if you're just looking for lead volume, if you're just trying to stuff your booth with people, you're actually going to reduce your sales efficiency and increase your cost. And again, you have a gap now between sales and marketing. And this is what clogs pipelines and actually drives, in some cases, salespeople crazy. The new paradigm we think is going to be is related to the quality of attendee information that you collect. And again, the degree of alignment between sales and marketing. What I mean by that is sales telling you what you need to know or what kind of information to collect, and making sure that the information that you do collect, okay, is good information. And that allows them to leverage it and actually controls cost. A couple of things you may have heard. Hope is not a strategy, and you can't sell a secret. It really doesn't work anymore in a trade show to hope that people are going to come to your booth or walk by and have the time to stop. And if you don't tell them why they should come to your booth, if you don't tell them what new products you have, it's very difficult for you to move them. You've got to have a strategy. Pre-show activities, and one of the things that Jessica is going to talk after me about is there's a lot of opportunities there for you, but research shows that if you run a quality pre-show program, you can actually increase the quality of the people that are coming to your booth. And obviously, if you increase that, you're going to increase your qualified leads. And qualified leads means closing more business. And one of the things I might recommend, too, if you use Jessica, booth graphics. If they match your trade show booth, it helps in terms of drawing people in. Next slide. Okay, 70% of the people that come to a trade show now, they've got an agenda, okay? And the people that do have an agenda generally are the people that are successful and they're decision makers. And they're going to give you about 5 to 10 minutes if they come to your booth. And so you really do have to give them a reason to come. Is your company on their agenda? And a lot of these things are very simple to do. Have you invited them to the booth? A lot of people do tell people what booth they're going to be in. Have you given them new product information, or have you given them access to information that's maybe been written about your company in the periodicals? Have you given them a reason to come? Okay, and that's important, and it's a very simple thing to do. And Jess will talk a little bit more about that. Next slide. Okay, can you measure the effectiveness of your pre-show activities? I don't know if anybody knows James Carville. He was a lead strategist for Bill Clinton, and he teaches poli-sci at Tulane. He's famous for saying, if you can't measure it, it didn't happen. Okay, and a lot of the things that can be done pre-show, you can actually find out who's opening your messages and how many times it's been viewed. That information is critical because before you even get to the show, you've got an indication of interest from people, and in some cases, you can actually reach out to them before the show. It really identifies high potential sales prospects, and you can actually schedule meetings before the event even happens. Who are you talking to in the booth? Okay, this is kind of big. When you crowd your booth with a lot of people, sometimes the important people can't get in, and you've got 5 to 10 minutes to get the information from people. We're going to talk about how you can actually find out who you're speaking to. Branching questions, some people know this as skip logic. Essentially, it allows you a very efficient way to drive and collect information in as few questions as possible. We're going to show you how to use that. And this helps you find out who am I talking to. So in this instance, this is just an example. Do you work in sales or marketing? They say marketing. Okay, well, what marketing? Okay, marketing, creative, or communications? Creative. Got it. Okay, and then it's media. All right, so you know what the focus is. You know who this person is, and the sales then knows what they can actually sell this person because they've driven down to the point where you've got the person's responsibilities rather than, are you in sales and marketing? I'm in marketing. Well, marketing is a very, very wide area now. So it's a large universe, and you really do need to drive down and try and find out who you're speaking with. Next slide. Okay, the mobile solution that you're going to be using at the event. Okay, this is pretty much a device that you've seen before. It's a Cadillac of the industry. It uses a QWERTY keyboard, but it also offers you an on-screen keyboard if you want to do that. Many of you are very familiar with that, and some people are remarkably fast in their ability to take notes. Okay, these are no-cost options that come with the device. I'm going to give you a couple of ideas of what you might want to do. When you pick up the device, they'll ask you these options, and you can determine what you want to do at the show. Scan and go. Scan and go works very, very well if this is a relationship show for you. If you know who's coming to your booth, these are customers, these are people that you know. Scan and go means you scan the badge and it beeps, you're done. You can immediately scan another badge. So you're not really interested in capturing information because you know who they are. Also, and this is important, if you're running any kind of a hospitality event, scan and go is a great way to determine who's actually coming to the hospitality event. It happens very fast, and again, you can take these devices out of the booth and use them at networking events. Scan and notes. Scan and notes works well with existing customers, and if you want to take notes on improvement, okay, you scan their badge, and what's nice about this, and you'll see this on a screen, you have the ability to edit the badge information. Some of you know that sometimes you'll see an email address that says customer service at, sales at, info at, and sales is going to want a direct email address. You can actually edit that on the device, and the same thing goes with a phone number. You can ask for a direct extension. You can ask for that if you choose to. Your next option is scan notes and surveys, and this works very, very well with new customers because you have the ability to scan it, correct the information to contact, you have the ability to make notes, and you get 2 survey questions, which generally are rank the potential of the customer and what their timeline is. This works very, very well with new customers. There's also a $50 upcharge for a survey, custom survey. You can have as many questions as you want. They are branching questions. So if you've got 5, 10, 15 products, you can actually put that in an answer, and you can identify products that people want. This is pretty powerful, and you really need to think about it a little bit more. Now, if you look at that box on the left, actually, Nancy, you can go back. Okay, you'll notice, you'll be able to see what is the state of the charge of the battery, how many attendees have actually been scanned, and it also will show you that it's backing up your data every 30 seconds. So you really don't have to worry about it. And where you see the yellow mark is a confirmation screen with the badge information that allows you to edit that. Now, just real quick, don't take the battery out of this device. That's not a good thing at all. You don't want to do that. Go ahead to the next slide, Nancy. Okay, when you get your leads, they're going to give you a login and a password and a browser to go to. You'll log in, you'll see the screen, your event will be on that right-hand side. You'll open it up, and there'll be instructions on how to download and export your leads into an Excel spreadsheet. It's very simple. We've got a 1-800 number if you choose to call it, and they'll help you with that. No problem whatsoever. Next slide. This, if you do go with the survey questions, you have a web browser. You can actually build your questions, and you'll see at the top they can be an active answer. They can be multiple answers. You can actually have free form if you choose to. It's very robust. It's something to think about. And that $50 charge, if you've got 2 or 3 devices in your booth, the $50 charge is a one-time charge. And the last one, okay, you'll actually be able to see graphic presentations of your information. And again, this works very, very well. I would encourage you to pay attention to Jessica because she's got some great pre-show ideas on how to use the device. And again, with this device, I know that they've got some trade show networking events and some cocktail hours. You can walk out of the booth, that device will fit in a blazer pocket, and you can actually still collect information if you choose to. If you have any questions, give us a call, and I hope you have a great show. And I'll be at the end for questions.
Great. Thank you, Steve. That was very valuable information. I hope everybody takes advantage of all those opportunities to collect some really valuable data while at the show with these high-quality prospects and customers. Now I'd like to turn it over to Jessica DaCosta, who will talk a little bit about some of the marketing opportunities available to our exhibitors at the event. And before I do so, I just wanted to remind people that they should be submitting their questions via the chat window if you have any questions regarding any of the presentations during the event.
Thanks again for joining us, everyone. You can actually go to the first slide, Nance. Free opportunities. Everyone loves free opportunities. So we've actually got a number of complimentary promotional items that can help you guys raise some awareness of your participation in the event. One of them being the expo invitations. We have both print and electronic available for you guys to order. And we actually even have an expo invitation contest for exhibitors who get the most attendees to the show by using their unique promo code. So we can supply you with all of that. You can actually win promotional items for use in 2014, and items like HTML email blast and web banners. So take a look at that. We're happy to create a customized email template for you guys with your unique code embedded, and you can actually see a sample over to the right-hand side there. And you can actually just blast it out to your email lists and really get your customers and prospects to pay attention to the show and come out to the show. Web banners, you can actually see a little web banner. We can load in your booth number for you. Those are also available for downloading and posting to your events page and website. You can actually locate all of this information via the online exhibitor manual, and that can be found at www.esxweb.com/manual, MANUAL. Mailing list. You have the option to do a postcard mailing to our pre-registered attendee list through a third-party mail house, and that will begin on May 24th. Additionally, exhibitors actually would have the option to do a mailing or a postcard of some sort to an even larger universe that's filled with ESX alumni, ESA, CSAA members, and other security professionals if desired. So that's definitely another option we can explore for anyone who might be interested. Your on-demand directory. Please make sure to utilize this feature. It comes with your booth contract. It's an awesome marketing opportunity for you guys. It's not just uploading your company listing and address information, but you can actually upload up to 3 featured products with images, links, descriptions for each. You can also promote any social networking links, upload a press release or a coupon or flyer for the show. And then login details, again, can be found in the online exhibitor manual under the marketing PR section. So definitely take advantage of that. And then we also have social media. So be sure to check us out on all of our social media links on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. We also encourage exhibitors to utilize your own social media tools. Promote your attendance at the show, promote your booth number, help drive more traffic to the event. And then YouTube, kind of same thing. We're really encouraging our exhibitors to push out videos. We have some really fun videos on our YouTube channel, some fun jingles for you guys to check out as well. Push those out to your clients. We even have highlights that might help you guys out as well. And the YouTube channel is www.youtube.com/ESXweb if you guys wanted to check that out. Branding opportunities. We have a lot of different marketing opportunities and sponsorships that would help you guys get more brand awareness out if that was one of your objectives. We do still have some silver sponsorships available. It's one of our premier level sponsorships. And we actually have another postcard that's scheduled to drop, I believe, this month. And you'd also get some exposure on our website and in our official printed show guide. Very cost effective, only $750. Badge sponsorship is also still available. I do have it on hold as of right now, but this makes a huge impression at the show. It's printed right on the front of the attendee badges for everyone to see, so I love that one. We also have other opportunities like ad walls. You can actually see a sample or a picture over to the right-hand side there. Ad walls, lobby banners, and window clings, which are kind of new for this year, are also available for display in the convention center or the event area. And we can work with you on placement for all those items. We also have some promotional items that we can place into the paid conferee bags. So conference pens, t-shirts if you already have them produced. Bag inserts such as a DVD or a flyer, or even like a koozie of some sort are available, and those are also pretty cost-effective opportunities. Water bottles are one of our newer sponsorship items. You can actually have customized labels printed and placed on those water bottles, and we can place them in the event lobby, so in a high traffic area for attendees to pick up, and sponsors are responsible for any production costs or corkage fees that are placed by the convention center, and we can talk about that for anyone who might be interested. We just announced not too long ago we are planning a backstage surveillance tour of the Music City Center for attendees on Tuesday. It is available for sponsorship, so the opportunity would actually get you visibility and pre-show marketing promotions on our website, as well as on-site signage in the lobby. But it's can be very interactive. The sponsoring company can actually send up to 5 of their own company representatives to the event, and you can have an introduction of, you would basically have the opportunity to introduce the tour speaker. So it is a very kind of interactive sponsorship. And then finally, we have a brand new opportunity where exhibitors can sponsor the shuttle buses. So we will have shuttle buses that are going to be running from one of our headquarter hotels, the Sheraton, back and forth to the Music City Center. So sponsors can have branding on the inside and outside of those buses, and we can help sponsors kind of get a little bit more interactive with it. So we've got some fun ideas for that. Traffic generation opportunities. So these are all about opportunities that can help drive traffic to your booth. Interactive distribution is one of my favorites that allows a company rep to distribute literature or even a fun promo item at the show floor entrance for up to 2 hours. So really a great way to get in front of attendees and push them to your booth. Floor graphics are also very fun. We can work with T3 Expo, our general contractor, on a shape that might work for you. We can place the sticker graphics to the show floor carpet and mark the path to your exhibit. So that one, we can get really fun with that one and creative. We also have mobile phone charging station, which is a relatively new sponsorship opportunity, and that offers attendees with a low cell phone battery, which my cell phone dies every trade show, but it gives them the opportunity to charge their phones at your booth. So you'd receive a ton of exposure surrounding that opportunity, but most importantly, you actually have the machine has a built-in audio-video advertising screen. So you can actually loop a video and promote some of your products or services. So you get some more, kind of some added value promotion with that as well. So it's a little bit different. And we also have our happy hour sponsorships are available again this year. We're very excited to have another happy hour on the show floor. It worked out really well last year. That will be taking place, as Nancy mentioned previously, Wednesday, June 19th from 5 to 6:30 p.m. on the show floor. And exhibitors do have the opportunity of providing food and beverage at their booths during this time. And for $200, we'll promote you as a happy hour sponsor and help drive traffic to your booth through on-site promotions. We do also have another opportunity, so for exhibitors who might not want to provide the alcohol or food in their booths or food and beverage, we do have the opportunity for them to sponsor a happy hour food station. So with that, we provide the food station and the food, but we'll actually place a table next to the food station, allowing you guys to interact with attendees, distribute literature or promo items, and really get your brand noticed that way. Couple of other opportunities we have here. The floor plan trailer ad in the show guide is also still available. So this is the printed official show guide. Sponsors of this will have a 2-page spread ad printed on the back of the floor plan. And again, you can promote your message to the attendees. We've had some companies in the past who have actually done a 3-page spread. So we can talk about that for anyone who might be interested as well. Another option to generate traffic is our HTML email blast. And this goes back to the message that Steve had implied about our pre-show marketing opportunities and really being able to measure your effectiveness. Invite attendees to your booth. Give them a reason to visit you. Talk about your plans for the show and really market your products and services. We have 2 options for HTML email distribution. One of them is to send it to our pre-registered attendee list for only $750. Very, very cost-effective opportunity. Lots of our exhibitors are, love the HTML emails. The closer you send to the show, the higher opt-ins we receive. So I do encourage you to do it maybe a couple weeks out or a week out from the show. Or you can send it to our master universe, which is over 20,000 plus security professionals now, and that cost on that is $2,200. So you have a couple of different options there. Exhibitors are responsible for developing the HTML code for the email, but we will blast it out to our list on your behalf, so it appears to be coming from you guys. And then we can also, as Steve mentioned before, measuring your effectiveness is very important. We can definitely provide you with the opens and clicks so you can properly measure your effectiveness and then follow up with any of those leads. We encourage it. Thought leadership opportunities. This is where it gets fun for me. So most of these opportunities tend to be more content driven and are available for to exhibitors looking to promote their brands and companies as thought leaders in this space. One of them is our conference track sponsorships. We only have 1 out of 9 that are available to date, and that happens to be our technology and applications track. Everyone loves this sponsorship. Sponsors receive a ton of exposure pre-show and on-site, allowing a company rep to introduce each session under that sponsored track. You also get lots of pre-show promotion and on-site exposure. So your logo on conference bags, a banner can be hung in the track room. Literature on the back tables, you can get more interactive with it if you'd like. We've had sponsor companies in the past have actually waited at the door for the sessions to end and have handed out, as these folks depart the session room, logo on the podium and signage outside. And then most importantly, we do give you a post-show list of all the track attendees that attend your event so you can follow up. Exhibitor offered trainings. We only have 3 of these left. Exhibitors can sponsor a 75-minute training on Wednesday, June 19th. So they're all going to be taking place on Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9:15. It is before the expo, so it doesn't conflict with the show floor hours. Sponsors receive a lead retrieval device so they can scan the badges at the door. Promotion on esxweb.com website. We will list it on our registration area as well. Basic AV setup, so screen, projector, mic, and podium are available for you. And then we do give you the list of attendees that you guys had self-scanned at the door post-event. And those are really cost-effective at $595. So they usually go like hotcakes, so we've only got 3 left. And then learning centers are completely new for this year. The idea behind the learning centers offers exhibitors the ability to demonstrate thought leadership on the show floor and really get attendees to rally around some of the trend areas that we're seeing in security, such as digital signage, business intelligence, interactive services in the light commercial market, and more. Sponsorship, we do have 1 sold, which is the RMR theme this year, the RMR Learning Center from Security Partners. So we're very excited to have them involved. And sponsorship includes space for the Learning Center, printed promotion distributed to attendees, built-in digital advertising opportunities. But we can really work with anyone who might be interested in customizing a package that makes sense. Because this is a really new idea and a new concept, that's full of, content marketing. And then we also have webinars. We have ESX produced webinars, which are $1,500 each, that focus on trends and ideas in some of our conference tracks. We still have a couple of topics that are still available. One is the mobile apps and interactive services, and then the other is sales and marketing. But industry experts will basically come together, they'll discuss ideas surrounding that theme, and sponsors are able to provide introductions at the start of the webinar. They receive branding on emails and promotions, logo on the slides. We do have a goal of 100 attendees to broadcast. However, we've been over-delivering closer to 200 for most of the webinars that we've conducted to date. So we do get a lot of great feedback on those. And then we also have, as another option, an exhibitor-produced webinar. So sponsors can conduct their own training or their own thought leadership on industry trends for $3,500. And exhibitors will essentially own that webinar for 45 minutes. They'll have 3 dedicated built-in HTML emails, to promote that as well. Again, goal of 100 attendees, but we have seen closer to 200. And the next slide, product promotion opportunities. So here's a quick snapshot of some of our fun product promo ops. We have designed a package called our Product Promotion Plus package for $19.95, which offers a bundled discount. The package includes the following. You can see the text message to all registrants, e-showcase product listing in our product newsletter, and again, that's actually mailed out to 20,000 plus security professionals. A web banner on our website, and then a dedicated HTML to our pre-registered attendee universe. We do also have the opportunity for exhibitors to purchase those individually, the individual e-showcase product listings, and those are priced, lots of people love those because they're priced very effectively. $350 for 1 listing, $450 for 2, and $525 for 3. But these are fun. I wish I had a picture in here to show you, but you basically have your, in your product listing, your company logo, your company name, the product title or the title of the product, a 50-word description of that product, and people can even promote their trainings instead of products. So for you guys who are interested in the exhibitor offer trainings or who might already have the exhibitor offer trainings, keep that in mind because that's definitely another tool that you guys can utilize in promoting your trainings or your products. And last but not least, video capture. One of our newer opportunities is the video capture at your booth. So a member from the ESX team will be available to shoot a 3 to 5 minute video capture of your booth or some of your products and service that you want to highlight, and we will deliver the footage to you post-event so you guys can utilize that in your own promotions. NAPCO did this last year and it worked out really well. You can kind of see a little screenshot of their video right here in the slide. But I've heard from my marketing manager that we've actually received very, very high open rates for that, or viewing rates, I guess you could say, which is also very exciting. Some of our digital opportunities, I know we've kind of got to wrap up very shortly, so I don't have too much to talk about, but digital opportunities, ESX more than just one week a year. We've really been striving to build out our attendee universe to be more of a community. We've been working to design our newsletters to be more editorial in nature and more content driven. The newsletters are providing content on the latest industry trends. We've got live interviews with industry experts and educational content. So we're really trying to, again, build that out as more of a community year-round. And I know we've already touched upon the webinars and HTML emails. We do have also opportunities in our, as far as the e-newsletter goes and web banners. So for anyone who might be interested in exploring the placement options, more than happy to have a separate call with you guys on that. And then my last slide here is our post-show packages. So we have a special ESX highlights report, which is new for this year. It'll be delivered weeks 1 and 2 post-event, so we'll have 2 editions that we can blast out to our universe. And sponsors have the opportunity to purchase this package for $19.95. It will include 1 full-page ad, an article generated and written by a member of the ESX team, so capturing some of the crucial highlights at your booth. You also will get your logo on the cover of the report, and we are limiting those to 6 sponsors per report. And again, we will have 2 editions that will go out weeks 1 and 2 post-event. And then we also have some special discounted advertising packages for esxweb.com and in our e-newsletter, which will run from June through December to help promote messaging pre-show and really reinforce your messaging post-event, because I think that that's important too. So we have lots of different ways for you guys to get involved. I'm happy, whether they're free or not, I'm very happy to set up a call with you to kind of chat about all these opportunities. Would love for you guys to start thinking about post-event too, and really starting to reinforce your messaging, because we do have some good cost-effective opportunities in doing so. And thank you guys for joining us on the webinar. Nancy?
Great. Thank you so much, Jess, for that information. There's definitely a lot of opportunities there for our exhibitors and sponsors to take advantage.
Hi guys, it looks like Nancy just dropped off the call, so I apologize for that. We really thank you, and for anyone who might have some questions, let me see if we can answer some of them.
Hey Jess, this is Jason Unger, everyone. I've got a bunch of questions that have come in from the audience so far, and I'll try and feed them out to everybody while Nancy is getting back on the line. The first question, Steve, I think this is probably most appropriate for you. If you're still on the line, how many scanners are provided with the booth, and how much are additional scanners?
The scanners are $300 a piece, so it's essentially you're in charge of that. If you want to run a booth without a scanner, that's fine too, or you can purchase as many as you want, or rent rather as many as you want. There is no discount for additional units.
Great. This is a question, Jess, this is probably right up your alley. It says I'm in the robot zone. Will this be clearly labeled on maps and in marketing materials, or should this exhibitor use their booth number when they're promoting to come see them at the show?
They can use their booth number, but the booth number that they have will be, we will definitely have some promotion about the security robotic zone, absolutely. But she can use, it might be, I think it's probably Pam, she can use her booth number that we've given her.
Beautiful. Let me see what the next question is here. Maybe for you again. How do I get my leads and what format do they come in?
We will give you a login and a password that takes you up to a browser, and you can download your leads into an Excel spreadsheet.
Beautiful.
Jason, I am back. I don't know what happened. My phone just gave me a fast busy and I was gone. Sorry about that.
Okay. All right, I'll let you take it away from here.
Okay. So one of the questions that came in was in regards to the spouse outing, if we're hosting a spouse outing again this year. And the answer to that is yes. It was something that was on hiatus last year, but this year we're going to be arranging a tour of Kicksbrooks Winery to Arrington Vineyards, and that will happen on Tuesday afternoon. So for those of you who might be interested in bringing your significant other, this is a great opportunity for them to get away from the show and have a little fun. Again, Tuesday afternoon, and transportation is included with the registration on that. The next question that came in was in regards to the pre-registered email list and how many emails are on that list. And I think Jess had mentioned previously that we have an option to send an email to our registration list and also to our entire universe list. And the reason that we do that is because, as you can imagine, many people wait until the last minute to register. We call them our procrastinators. And so the number of emails on that pre-registered list clearly increases substantially as we approach our pre-registered deadline of May 17th. So we definitely encourage people, if they're interested in just hitting the people who are registered for the event, to wait to send their email out until we get very close to the event. And I don't obviously have a number right now for what that would be. But as Jess also mentioned previously, we have over 20,000 people in our entire universe list, and that's something that you could send out now, and that would be more of an invitational message to come to the event. Jess, do you have anything else to add to that question?
Nope. I mean, the closer they get to the show, you're right on point with that. The better if you're really just trying to hit the pre-registered attendee list. But again, we do have the other option for you guys to utilize the master list. So I don't really have much to say.
Okay. The next question is in regards to badges, and will I receive my badges in the mail? No, we do not mail badges anymore for the event. Badges are available at the registration counters. We print them out for you right when you arrive at registration. And just to go over those hours quickly, registration opens on Monday afternoon at 2 p.m. and is open until 5 p.m. Then it's open Tuesday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., on Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and also on Thursday from 8 a.m. until noon. And while we're just going over hours, I think I should also just mention those setup hours once again starts on Tuesday and runs from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and then Wednesday again starting at 8 a.m. until 10 a.m., and then tear down on Thursday starting at 12:30 p.m. and running until 8 p.m. And I think that is it for questions. So what I would like to do, I just wanted to mention quickly that our staff will be actually contacting all of our exhibitors over the coming weeks to arrange for some exhibitor planning calls to help them with their planning for the show, to make sure that we have answered all of your questions and assisted you as best we can in your preparations for the event. So just wanted to make you aware that an email will be coming out this week to set up those calls with you. So if you do require additional assistance, if you had a question today that you weren't able to get answered, or something that comes up after the fact, by all means we're able to assist you with those. Also wanted to mention that this webinar is being recorded and that you will have the opportunity to view it or to share it with your colleagues after this webinar. You'll receive that information will be sent out to all of the webinar attendees after the event. And finally, just to thank you. Thank you for attending today, and then also just wanted to thank you all for your participation, your support of ESX and of our associations. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.